Okay, this problem is about how horses run, and it turns out that there's two different ways that a horse's brain and nerves can be wired that determine how it moves its legs when it's running. And the two types are called trotter and pacer. Trotter is the dominant trait, which I will call capital T. What trotter means is when the horse runs, it will move its back left leg and its front right leg at the same time. Then, after it's planted those, it will step with its front left and back right legs, and it alternates like that. So it moves the legs in opposite corners as it runs, and that kind of gait is called a trot. The other kind of horse, a pacer, is the recessive version, lowercase t, and that is a horse that moves both the legs on its left side and then both the legs on its right side. And apparently pacers tend to be faster, and you can sometimes train a horse to walk with the opposite gait if you know what you're doing, but it's like left-handed or right-handed. You're born wired one way or the other, and we're looking at the trait that regulates that. So this trait has normal dominance, which means if you're big T, you are a trotter. If you are big T, you are still a trotter because it's a dominant trait. And if you are little t, you are a pacer. So I see three different moms in this scenario, so I'm going to get rid of the horse picture because we're going to need the space. And let's see what we can do with this. Oop, those can go. All right, so we have a male trotter. This is the dad for everything that's about to happen. And if you're a trotter, that means you're big T blank. We don't know what your second allele is yet. It could be either one. And mates are three different females, and each female produces a foal. So we're going to have mom number 1, mom number 2, and mom number 3. And what do they tell us about these? The first female is a pacer. Lovely. If you're a pacer, we know you're little t. No question about her genotype. That's helpful. The second female is also a pacer. There we go. And the third female is a trotter, which means she's the same as dad. She's big T, don't know. So that's what we're given about the parents. Now, what else can we fill in? The first female gives birth to a pacer foal, little t. Mom number 2 has a trotter who is just like the parents, or just like the dad, big T, don't know. And the third female, who is a trotter, gives birth to a pacer who is little t. Okay. So we have the dad, we have these three moms, we have these three offspring. Determine the genotypes of the male, all three females, and the three foals. Well, we've got 2 of the foals already. Pacers are easy. Pacers are automatically little t's, and we have 2 of the moms because they're pacers also. We have one mystery foal down here, and we have dad and mom 3 where we don't know everything. Let's see if we can fill in some of those blanks. Looking at dad, what does this foal tell us about dad? This foal has 2 little t's. You always have 2 alleles, and one of them came from each of your parents. So one of these came from mom. Not surprising, it's all she had. The other one had to come from dad, which means he must be heterozygous. He's not showing the pacer trait, but he has it, and some of his children will have it. So that's good. We got one there. That happens here also. This foal is a pacer, which means it has 2 little t's, one from each of its parents. So one of these must have come from dad. And yep, hi dad. We knew he had that. We just found that out, so we're not surprised to see it again. The other t must have come from mom, so she, like the dad, is carrying the pacer trait even though she's not showing it. And she passed it on in this case. So with both of these, we've been looking at children and working back up from there to determine stuff about the parents. We can also go the other way and figure out things about the children based on the parents. This mom has 2 little t's. All of her eggs will contain a little t, which means all of her children will have a little t. This big T had to have come from Dad. He does pass that on sometimes. But Mom guaranteed all of her children will have a little t, and so there it is. Good?